nice little vacation with my wife after the school year ended. She always needs a couple days or a week or so to reset from the chaos that the end of the school year brings, and that's where we were. So that's why you haven't seen me for a little bit. And I welcome you guys all back, and I'm glad you continue to watch. And hopefully, we'll have an interesting view on things for you guys today to agree, disagree, whichever you want to do. Comments are always welcome. If you have any comments to leave, go to the website. You can go there and leave your remarks, or if you see it on Facebook or any of the other social media outlets that I'm on, please drop a line and let me know what you liked about it, what you don't like about it. Thumbs up, sad emoji, whatever. I can take it all. So anyway, a lot of things have been happening, obviously, in the past couple of days and over the past week and a half or so. One couple things that I do want to cover with. I don't get the whole, bashing of the United States with, especially our politicians. There's a woman from Minnesota. Everybody knows about what her comments have been. The Lon Omar or whatever her name is, saying that the United States is the worst country in the world. And here's a woman that came from Somalia, a war-torn country, third world country, comes to the United States as a refugee. The United States takes her in. She eventually becomes a citizen, naturalized citizen, whether through the green card process or whatever it was, refugee, safe haven, whatever it was. And she got educated by the United States school systems and the university systems in this country, became a congresswoman, and now all of a sudden we're the worst country in the world. Well, if you don't like it, there's a fucking plane leaving every day from Detroit or Minneapolis that you can get on and go back fucking home. It's as simple as that. And if you can't afford it, I'm sure that if I put the word out with a couple of my buddies, I'm sure that I could raise the money for you and deliver you. But here's the thing. If you're going to go and do that, and you want to go back to your home country, because this is such a terrible place, after all, you got nothing from us, education, a well-paying job, stock options that you're getting from Nancy Pelosi, all that kind of good shit. But, hey, America sucks, and it's the worst country in the world. So if you want to go back to your old, sand pit in the desert somewhere, you go ahead and do that. But you have to renounce your citizenship. And I'll make sure you get on a plane. I will make sure you have the money for it. And then you can go back to your country. Okay? If that's what you really want, because I am sick and tired of you fucking politicians coming here and half of you don't appreciate it. You are an ungrateful bitch. That's what you are. You are a whiny little bitch that is an ungrateful cretin of a person. Okay, this is a country that gave you everything you have, and you're railing against it. You're a moron. You have no right to represent anybody except maybe the fucking cockroaches that live in the streets. That's the only thing you should be allowed to represent, because that's what you are. You're a low-life piece of shit. And then you got this commie in fucking New York that thinks he's going to change everything. Well, listen, all you got to do is look at his policies, what he's trying to do in New York. He wants to get rid of the cops, which the cops will walk out on him anyway, because there is no fucking way that as bad as New York is now, it's going to get worse. Okay? He wants to tax white, rich neighborhoods. Okay? That sounds to me kind of like racism. I don't know about you, but that's what it sounds like to me. Okay, so here's what's going to happen if you're going to target white rich people that live in New York, and there's quite a few. Park Avenue is going to be empty. Millionaire Row is going to be empty. Wall Street's going to move to another state, probably Florida or Texas. All those guys are going to take their money and they're going to run like hell. That's what's going to happen. You're going to have a mass exodus, and all you're going to have is the illegal aliens that you continue to try to harbor, And good luck with trying to rein in the cops, because they're all going to fucking leave on you. So you're going to have the Wild West on the East Coast. And the communistic part comes in, where he wants to take over the supermarkets because the prices are too high. So he's going to fix the prices. Well, since when did we become a communist country that we have to have price stabilization like that, when this is supposed to be a free market enterprise country? We're supposed to embrace that. But no, not you guys. You guys got to fucking, tell everybody what they can charge, how much they're allowed to make, and how much you're going to take of it. I mean, it's like the budget bill. You got this Hakeem Jeffries talking for 7 fucking hours, holding up the vote. And in the meantime, I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump. Okay. But there's a lot of things in that bill, if you take a good hard look at it, that are going to help me and a lot of my friends. Think about this. Right now, you're getting, if you're a bartender or you're a waitress or you're in the service industry, a good portion of your salary comes from tips, because they certainly don't get minimum wage. Okay. And I think the minimum wage I don't even know anymore. But when I was bartending in college, we got $25 a shift if we were lucky. We made most of our money on tips. Okay. That was back, I don't know, 100 fucking years ago, because I'm an old man now. But the point of the matter is, it's probably 75% of what a waitress or a bartender or something like that makes comes from their tips. Okay. Now, I don't know how much people make on their tips. It's none of my fucking business, but I know some of these people do okay, especially if they take care of the customers. Okay. I know I'm a big tipper because I was in the business. I was a bartender. I was a bar person. I worked in restaurants and bars. So I know how hard that work is. So I appreciate the fact that these guys and these women are out there, busting a nut so you can have a good time. All right. And I'm all about that. So I happen to be, my wife tells me I overtip. Well, I overtip because I've been there. My son's been there. Before he went into the Navy, he worked as a barback, and he worked as a bartender, and he worked as a waiter. Okay. My family gets it. All right. So I know what we were making, and it's peanuts compared to what people are getting now. All right. Because the bills are higher, et cetera, whatever. Point of the matter is, let's say that a good 60% of your pay comes from tips. Okay. 60% you got to pay tax on, as well as what your regular salary is. Well, what this bill wants to do is it wants to cap it that you can't, on the first $25,000 that you make on your tips, you're not paying taxes. Okay. So if you figure you're at the 25% or 30% pay grade for taxes or whatever it is, let's just say for easy numbers, it's 25%. So if you're capped there at 25, that means you get to keep roughly an extra $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a year in your pocket. Now you're going to be upset with that. I mean, 10,000, might even be more. I don't know. I haven't done the math. I just know that, that's what they're talking about in the thing. I know that Donald Trump wanted to have all tips and overtime not taxed, Social Security not taxed, but the Democrats want to have 25% cap or whatever. And they're railing against it because they're saying that that's going to cut into the Medicaid. Well, no, the only thing Medicaid is going to get revamped, because they're going to take people that are here, illegally, okay, that they got in the sanctuary states and they're getting Medicaid, or the people that are just too fucking lazy to get out of bed in the morning and go to work. Those are the people that are coming off. And I agree I agree. Same thing with welfare. I think you should work. I think you should minimally work for at least, 20, 25 hours a week. Okay. And that's being generous. And there's a lot you can do. If you're working, if you can pick up a shovel, clean up the roads. Because apparently we can't get it done with the guys that are getting paid $90 an hour. So why don't you get your benefits for Medicaid or welfare or any of those types of things and start fixing the potholes. Start repaving the sidewalks and the streets. Because that's where all my tax money is going. That's what they say it's going to anyway. I personally think it's going in the fucking pockets so they can have these big old houses and make investments on your and my dime. Because, they don't make them enough money with $100,000 a year or $125,000 a year as a politician. So they don't give a fuck about us. They don't give a fuck about the common man. The Democrats used to be about the common man. Not anymore. Now they cater to the rich people. That's why they're railing against all these fucking things that Trump is trying to do. And again, I am not a fan. Don't get me wrong. I am not endorsing him by any stretch of the imagination. I didn't vote for him. I wouldn't vote for him again. If he was allowed to run for a third term, I wouldn't vote for him then either. But I have my own personal reasons for that. But if he's going to do something to help me and or my friends, I'm good with that. And that's what he's trying to do. And at every fucking step that he tries to make, the Democrats are going against it. And that to me is just appalling. They're finding every fucking way to make this guy lose. And you know what happens if he loses? You and I lose. And everybody else in this fucking country. Okay? We got to get together. We can't have this bullshit divide between us. All right? And I'm not saying this because I want to be mean to anybody. I'm not saying this because I want to have hate mail. I'm not saying it. This is fucking common sense, people. Okay? If it's not good for me, it's probably not good for you. The only ones that are not going to have a problem with any of this shit that's going on are the people that are sitting in their ivory towers in like Hollywood or, the Upper East Side of Manhattan or whatever the case may be. The guys that got fuck you money. They don't give a shit about us. They just want us to pay for every fucking thing that they want to do. And then if you don't like what's going on, come up with a better idea. I have not heard one fucking Democrat come up with a better idea yet. Not one. All it is Trump is bad. Trump is bad. He's going to take away from you. He's going to kill babies because you can't give them food. That's bullshit. That's called fear mongering. And you know what? There's a good majority of you out there that are fucking buying into it and sucking it up like it's a freaking milk out of a mother's tit. Okay? This is fucking ridiculous. You got to do some homework. I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine. I hadn't seen him in a couple of days ago. And we were saying, it's amazing that you and I, and we don't always see eye to eye, but we feel pretty much the same way about things. Okay? We're kind of centrist. He tends to be a little bit more liberal than me. I'm a little more conservative, but we can agree. And it's not really that difficult. All you got to do is talk about it without getting in each other's face and pointing fingers. You're a moron. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a fucking retard. And that's what both sides are doing. And that's not how we get this country back together again. And this is not how we make America great. Donald Trump wants to make America great, but you guys, and this whole thing is going sideways all over the place, and it's not working. Okay? Because you just want to divide. Because a divided country is easier to conquer. And that's what you want. You want submission. And especially the Democratic Party. They want submission. And you know what? They had an experiment, and I'm not a big conspiracy theory. They had an experiment during COVID. They locked everybody down. They had control. They liked the idea that they had control because people couldn't do anything. And they don't want to give that up. And now that we're all out of that COVID shit, except some morons that are still some guy's still wearing a mask in a car by himself. I mean, that's just idiotic to me. You're in a car. It's your car, presumably, and you're wearing a mask. That's like wearing a rubber in bed at night and jerking off. I mean, it makes no fucking sense. But I digress. The point of the matter of this whole conversation is we got to get our shit together as the populace of the United States, because these guys are not giving a shit. The ones that are in Washington right now, they don't give a fuck about us. Okay, it's like the guy who your buddy that you've grown up with, you've known since you were 5 years old. You know, you played baseball with them, you sit in the bar with them, you grew up, graduated from high school with them, you've known them for all your entire life. They hit the lottery, and you say, "Hey, congratulations, Frank. You know, good for you. Happy birthday." And he'll look at you, "Oh, thanks." And who are you again? That's what happens after they get elected. They don't know fucking who you are. The only people they recognize are the people like the Bezoses and the Musks, and those are the people that they know. Okay, the Soroses and stuff like that, because they're giving them billions and billions of dollars. That's who they care about. They don't give a fuck about me. They don't give a fuck about you. And when you get that through your head that they're not working for you or us, which is what they're supposed to be doing, we're going to continue down this spiral. And this is a rabbit hole I don't want to go through, because we got a lot more problems than what they're doing. And they're creating those problems. And they're allowing it to happen. And they're doing it because they want to divide and conquer us. That's what it is. That's as simple as I can put it. And if you don't believe me, do your homework, because that was the conversation I was having with my buddy that I started a couple minutes ago. That conversation was basically, hey, you don't like what I'm saying? Look it up. Because I try to be accurate. I try to be 100% accurate. I'm not always good at it, but I'm usually pretty good at what I'm saying. I may not get word for word what's happening, what I said or what they said, but I'm pretty close on the meaning of the sentences that I've made with, about what I put on this show and what I put on when I talk to friends in person and whatever else. Okay, I try to be as accurate and truthful as possible. So, it is what it is. You can take that for what it's worth. But anyway, point of the matter is that we got to come together, because united we will stand, divided we will fall. And that's what they want. They want us to crumble under our own weight, because you hate me, I hate you, you hate this, you hate that, you don't like this. Okay. And the Democrats have gotten it wrong. The Republicans are not 100% right. Okay. They seem to be trying to get it right, but they're not. You have some normalized Democrats that are getting silenced by the AOCs of the world, who's another fucking crackpot. She's standing up there talking about fucking babies and tips and all that kind of stuff. Well, she should know about tips. She was a fucking bartender. And Nancy Pelosi took her under her wing because she needed a personal bartender, because the last bartender retired. So that's the only reason AOC. Plus, her constituents have the brain power, most of them, of an acorn. I mean, her constituency back in Brooklyn or Bronx or wherever are not exactly the smartest people in the world. They might be rich because they're drug dealers, most of them, but whatever. And I don't know that for a fact. It's hyperbole, whatever. I don't get it. But, I get it. That's insulting to them. A lot of good people live in New York City, and I don't mean to disparage any one of them. But there are elements out there that are just wrong. And we know it. They know it. And I know it. And I'm sure that somebody's going to come after me and say, hey, that wasn't very nice of you what to say. You said that was wrong, and that's racist. Okay, well, go ahead. So I'm a racist. Okay, fine, whatever. But I'm really not. Anyway, because I'm an equal opportunity hater. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about your skin color. I don't care about your religion. I don't care what sex you are. I don't care if you identify as an acorn. I don't give a shit. Okay? If you're a decent person, we can have a beer. If you're an asshole, I'm going to say so. That's just the way I am. I'm an equal opportunity hater. Anyway, in the meantime, we are going into the 4th of July weekend. I hope you guys all have a great holiday celebrating the original No King's Day, when we declared and became independent of the reign of the British monarchy and went about our own way. And yes, we did have hiccups back then too, and they're still coming. And unfortunately, they're coming faster and more furious than ever before. And that's kind of sad, because this country can be great. And, like I said, that my MAGA is making America great, but not in the Trump way. And my MAGA stands for a man against governmental authoritarianism. And I don't care if it's coming from the right. I don't care if it's coming from the left. I don't want the government in my back pocket and telling me every fucking thing that I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do. And I'm not going to be told what kind of car I got to drive or what kind of a stove I have to buy, or, I have to buy a green car instead of a blue car, or I don't give a shit. I'm going to get what I want to get, and I'm going to do it my way. I've done it for 65 years and I'm still here. I know I've had a few times where I thought I wasn't going to be here anymore, but that's besides the point. That's a story for another day. Anyway, people, have a great holiday. Stay safe. If you're going to play with explosives, do it carefully. Try not to set houses on fire and barns on fire, or yourself for that matter. I hope my friends out there that are going to play with the fireworks and that kind of thing, I don't want to see you with a patch over your eye or missing a couple of fingers, especially the middle one, because right now we all need a few, like the song says, we need a few more middle fingers. So anyway, have a great day. Have a great weekend. God bless you all. God bless America. Thanks for listening. If you want to see more and some of the previous episodes that you might have missed, go to my website, drunkdutchman.com. The links are to all the social media places that I'm on. Will be at the bottom of the page. Hopefully, I'm going to have a link that if you're interested in the T-shirts that are going to be coming out, you can order them there. And I'm trying to get it set up with a link so you can pay securely, and I won't get your credit card information or anything like that. And if you know me and you see me around and stuff like that and you want one, just let me know and I'll get it to you, and you can either give me a phone call or whatever. I'm thinking they're going to be about $20 a piece. So let me know if you want one, and have a great 4th of July. God bless. Don't drink too many beers. I know I'll try to keep mine down to 76 in honor of our almost 250th anniversary of the country. And you all have a great weekend. Take care, folks. And God bless you all.